Hello boys and girls, welcome to my channel, I'm For Classic and welcome to BenchART. So, what we have in here today, it is Persona 4 Golden Edition. This game it is developed by Atlus and it is using the RenderWare engine. So I will talk a little bit more further about the game and its story and why it is now on the PC. But first of all, I want to cover why you are here for, the performance and the graphical settings that you can expect about this game. Alright, so keep in mind that this game was an old game that only now reached the PC, so there's a reason why it's very lightweight. Alright, so but before stressing you out with more stuff, let's just jump into the graphical settings. So let's go, settings. And what we do have in here is that I'm playing the game with maximum settings over here. It is fine that we have a resolution scaling option, which can go both ways. Shadow quality only affects the dynamic shadows of the characters. That is also an isotropic filtering toggle and also anti-aliasing. Alright, so looking to the recommendations that these guys provide us, they do recommend an i5 from the first generation, 4 gigs of RAM, and the GTX 460 or an AMD Radeon HD 6870. So yeah, requirements are pretty low. Alright, so let's check how the game performs with the GT 740M, which is pretty much equivalent to a GT 825M or a GT 920M. So the results that I had, it were amazing. I mean, the average it is 67 frames per second with a 1% low of 49. I think that the performance is more than we need because this is a JRPG game where the combat it is turn-based. So as long as you could have 30 frames per second, I would say that we would be fine, but it is better than that. We have most of the time above 60 frames per second, being the minimums 50 frames per second at native resolution with maximum settings. Alright, so let's talk now a little bit about the game. So Persona 4 it is not a new game. It was initially released in 2008 for PS2 and PS Vita, so that should explain why this game it is so undemanding, because it is not even from the PS3 time. This is quite old game. And Atlus, it is also well known for delivering games that aren't really power graphics houses. So they aren't really demanding, they don't really care too much about graphics, they just care to deliver their experience with enough graphics to provide you a good experience. And actually, these guys have a ton of ideas for someone that aren't using really great technology. So this game it is using the RenderWare engine. The RenderWare engine it is an engine that was used for GTA 3, GTA Vice City and GTA San Andreas. That golden era from GTA back in the day. RenderWare was also used for a multitude of many other games outside Rockstar, which I honestly don't know, but if you search on Google, there are a ton of games that it is using that engine. Although interestingly enough, this game features a ton of stuff like day and night cycle and you know, different weather systems, although all of them are static, which is a little bit weird because GTA actually were able to create dynamic day and night cycles and dynamic weather systems, and while this game everything it is completely static, and for a reason, gameplay, because this game features morning, afternoon, nighttime. It features different weather systems like raining, cloud and sun, but everything it is static and it is completely scripted because of the gameplay and the story, because there are certain events that only occur when it's raining or when it is cloudy, on when it is sun or when it is night or not. And the game feels very scripted, at least its first 5 hours, so I believe this game will remain this way. Also, what I want to tell about this is that this game it is fascinating. I have never played a Persona before, and I'm not really a huge fan of JRPGs, but the way that this game starts, it is really good in my opinion, because this game starts with a focus on history, on the story of the game, on the narrative, I mean. And you start as a character, as a teenage character, that have gone outside the city to study inside a rural zone. So you are going to a high school, to a school where you don't know anyone, and everybody it is very thrilled to know you because you are somebody from the big city and you just gone to a small village to study there, and you stay in a room that the brothers of your sister, the brother of your mother allows you to. So interesting startup, but after a while, people start to die that are related to that village, and you start to notice that something it is wrong. The police can't even uncover what the hell is going on, although you and your friends and your colleagues start to uncover that something it is a little bit supernatural with those dads, and start to notice that something it is really, really wrong. So the game it is kind of very difficult to show. That's why I decided to go with a pretty generic in here dungeon, because this is something that you can expect from the gameplay. But most of the 5 hours that I did spend with this game, it was just hearing characters talking and developing between each other. So there is a very big introduction. Comedy is it is very well placed into these chats. So characters talk between each other. There is a lot of comedy, a lot of talking. The voice acting, even on English, it is pretty good. I'm kind of shocked because of that, because most of the Japanese games have good Japanese voice actings, but then English are a little bit weird. But this game, the English voice acting, it is really, really well done, so that's good stuff. And there are multiple other stuff, so despite its age and its technology being very, very weak, I mean, all these things, it seems like it have been done with such love. For example, the environments that I'm not going to show you in here, the rooms, the school, the streets outside, they are really well crafted. I mean, there are a good attention for the detail for a game from that era. So it's kind of astonishing what they did accomplish at the time with this engine. Also, not to mention that this game features an insanely good soundtrack. As for the gameplay, this is pretty much what you can expect. So it's a little bit of a mix of a Pokemon and Final Fantasy. It is a turn-based combat, and you control some sort of personas, which they are monsters that have some sort of attacks. So it's a little bit like Pokemon, but you can also attack with your own character. Alright, so that's about it. As for the open world environment, that's the thing that I didn't like as the most. At least for now, I'm not really sure how it will unlock or not. But for now, the open world of this game, it isn't really an open world entirely. For now, things have been really scripted and I was forced to go to certain places. So I really didn't have too much freedom to explore. But somehow, these open world environments are camera fixed exploration points. Like a little bit like Tomb Raider Angel of Darkness, but with a fixed camera position. So for example, you have a street, and if you want to go to the street on the side, the game needs to load. You climb the stairs, the game needs to load. You enter a shop, the game needs to load. So there is a ton of stuff, and there isn't too much to do outside on those open world environments. I'm not really sure too much about this game or any other Persona. I'm not really sure what type of activities do you have on the open world environments, because I don't really know the game, and this game it is huge. According to how long time to beat it, this is a game that can last for 80 hours I mean, or even 100 hours or more. So this is a huge game. So I'm not really sure how this game unfolds, but for now I have been liking a lot what this game has to offer. The characters, the conversations, the soundtrack, which I can't show you near due to copyrights, the environments, despite how old and this technology and graphics are. So a lot of stuff it is being well done, and for the combat system you get this type of Pokemon slash old Final Fantasy style. So I'm really enjoying the game a lot, and if you see reviews from that era, I mean from 2008, which was when the game was initially released, you will see that the game scored between 8 to 10. So there was great, insane scores given to this game. Everybody loved the game. The port it is very well done. Also, Steam users are very satisfied with what they see in here. Yesterday I checked Steam, and the game was with 97% of score. Doing some scroll down on the page, I saw a ton of thumbs up on the game and a lot of positive comments about it. I also have some positive things about the port. For example, this game, we take a lot of things for granted in PC gaming, but when it comes to Japanese ports, there are many weird stuff going on. For example, Japanese ports tend to lock frame rates to either 30 or 60. This game features an unlocked frame rate, so you can do whatever you want with the frame rate. Also, it supports arbitrary resolutions, so you can select any resolution that you want. And also, if you don't have a gamepad, you can play the game just nicely with a keyboard and mouse. You can actually configure each key for each action, so the game supports remapping of the keyboard keys, which is pretty good. I know that this is something pretty normal for a PC game, but most of the Japanese games don't even care about this. And also, it features a resolution scaling. So things do work pretty well. The only downside that I had is that I had a couple of crashes at startup, and immediately I understood that it is related with MSI Afterburner. So if you want to start this game with MSI Afterburner, you can't start the game with MSI Afterburner opened. You need to start the game first, and then when you are inside the game, you need to alt-tab the game, and then you can open MSI Afterburner, or the game will just crash on startup. So that's the only crash and issue that I had with the game. The game never crashes. It is obviously well optimized because this is a very old game. Everything runs as it is supposed to, and that's about it. And this, with this very low cost, which is $19.99. It only costs $19.99 to enter in the world of Persona 4, and I'm pretty sure that a lot of people already bought the game at this price. The game features the Nouveau, which means that it's probably going to take a long time to crack, so if you want to play the pirated version of this game, I'm pretty sure you will have to wait a long time anyway. If not, well, good for you. But the Nouveau have been very hard to crack, so at the price point that they are releasing this game at $19.99, I think you should really buy it, support the developer, because if this game sells well enough, I'm pretty sure these guys will release Persona 5 on PC, and that would be great because you no longer would require to use FPS-CS3, which is an emulator for the PS3. Alright, so guys, I think that's all that I want to talk about Persona 4 Golden Edition. Hope you keep enjoying the rest of the video, and I do hope to see you soon. Goodbye.
You have to use your powers to save Chie-chan!
Kneel before me! I am a shadow, the true self! What do you guys think you're doing? Trying to defend the real me? Then you're gonna pay the price!
Shut up! Quit being such a pain! Chie, just hang in there a little longer!
Huh. Think you can stop me that easy?
Persona 10? Counting on you! Now's our good answer! Out of our way!
Looks like you won't understand without a little pain! Scream for me! Kill me, maggots!
That was intense! You okay?
Scream for me!
Damn it! Who do they think they are? Counting on you! Persona!
Here you go! Here it comes!
That was intense! You okay? Counting on you! Persona! Persona! Counting on you! Alright! Ready or not, here we come!
How lame! You're all so deadly serious and we've only gotten started! Scream for me! Surprise, idiots! Why are you protecting her like that? Kneel before me!
Throw down! Persona! Should we show Good answer!
Don't make fun of me! You're nothing against me! Kneel before me!
Let's do this, Jiraiya!